Welcome back, Crucible candidates. There's been a long road behind us, an even longer road ahead, but we are finally here with our Winds of Exchange deck openings. I have some more scattered content coming in the future, some adventure stuff, some shorts, etc. But I think for now, for the foreseeable future, unless something changes and I let you know, we will be back to our every other Monday Winds of Exchange. So I hope you guys are excited. There's so much variance in this set that I am so stoked to see what we can pull from this display. I actually just got back from a Sealed Alliance event in Atlanta that I had a absolute blast at. So let's, without further ado, start digging into these. I happily managed a 3-0 at that Sealed Alliance event, thanks mostly in part to the fact that Hallowfest is a pretty crazy combo. Ooh. Alrighty. So we've got the houses, Brobnar, Mars, and Star Alliance. We've got a bot token. Okay, well, we've got Auric, Refinery, Intimidator. Let's get that close up for you. I know that bot isn't particularly amazing, but with how Alliance is, we can see if we have some great pods here, or maybe it's just a really good Star Alliance with a mediocre token. Alrighty. Give me one moment to break this open, and we will start digging through the cards. See you in just a second. And we are back with the deck. Here's another close-up look at that token Archon. Great Archon looks really cool. Kind of separated its body parts. Love the name. Okay, we'll get the deck list set to the side here. And our token creature. It's going to be the bot, of course. Star Alliance creature, 1 power. Action, use a friendly non-Star Alliance creature. If we get some really good creatures outside of Star Alliance, it might just be worth it. Flip it over. We are starting in Star Alliance. So we have the action. It's got a damage pip enhance. This is teamwork. Play, make a token creature. If there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, archive teamwork. It's their token making card, not bad. We've got another one with 2 damage pips if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures. So damage pips on these aren't great, especially if I have to kill a enemy creature. Might end up hitting my own. It's interesting. Then we've got Specialist Guthrak, more damage pips. Oh my goodness, wonder if we got a bunch of the Glixwix Weaponsmiths, the Mars Enhancer. And we've got the 3 power creature Specialist Guthrak here, with Skirmish and After Fight / Reap, capture 1 amber for each house represented among Specialist Guthrak and its neighbors. Scout KeyForge with a damage pip. Play, make a token creature. He's a 2 power creature. And then After Fight, After Reap, make a token creature. You can tell this is from the Game Found, just because the play, I think once they started printing it, they just put play / After Fight / After Reap all in one thing instead of separating it like this. I could be wrong, but then another one that explains the bot with all this token making. We've got Red Alert with a damage pip. Again, not exactly what you want since Red Alert requires more enemy creatures. It's an action play. If there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures, deal damage to each enemy creature equal to the difference. And we've got the action Photon Blast. Play, deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 splash. If this damage destroys 1 or more creatures, make a token creature. Not bad. We've got Future Booster here, some good efficiency in this set. It's an artifact with an amber pip, and it says, Omni, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it on the bottom of your deck. It's a great way to ensure you don't tokenize great cards, and you can set cards maybe aside that you don't want to draw next turn to the bottom. We've got 2 of those. This one's got 2 amber pips. We've got 3 future boosters. Okay, well after the first one they stop being super useful just because they're Omni. 2, you can kind of make something happen if you move something to the bottom, but 3 is a bit overkill. SV3 lander, interesting. Okay, so I actually love this artifact and everything that I've seen from it. It is play, make a token creature, and then you can Omni to destroy it, and for the remainder of the turn you may use friendly token creatures. This could be really good. If I set out a bunch of bots and my opponent isn't actually like looking at them, I can go into a different house and then maybe just reap out with a bunch of bots. And then we've got the upgrade Plasma Nozzle. It's got an Amber Pip on it, and this creature gains before fight, deal 2 damage to the attacked creature with 2 splash before fight. Not bad. Then we're getting into Mars here. We've got an excellent creature, 5 power. This is Yixlix Mesmerist. With action, a creature captures 1 ember from its own side. We've got the Xanthix Harvester. It's a 3 power creature. With Xanthix Harvester cannot be used while it has a non-Mars neighbor, and after reap, gain 1 amber. Got the Tixel Beam Buckler here. These cards are sliding around on me. 4 power, 1 armor creature. With play, deal 2 damage to a creature. Move it to either flank of its controller's battle line. Fantastic. Then we've got the MK2 generator with a damage pip. It enters play ready and action, make a token creature. A fantastic artifact. Really, really good. Don't mind the damage pip there. Ooh, Mars needs Amber. This is great with all the damage pips that we've seen. It's got an Amber bonus on it, and play each damaged enemy non-Mars creature captures 1 Amber from its own side. Xanthix Harvester, 3 power, 1 armor, play/destroyed, make a token creature. The Ironix Rebel, 2 power with deploy, and play, ready each of Ironix Rebel's Mars neighbors. Then we've got Ironix Propaganda. This creature gains after fight after reap, make a token. It's got an Amber Pip on it. Okay, so here is where some of the damage pips are. Let's see if we have multiple of these. This is Glixlix Weaponsmith, 4 power, 1 armor, and it enhances 2 damage and a draw icon into the deck. Only 1, okay. So we probably have a bunch of Rowdy Scalds then in our Brobnar. We've got Red Planet Raygun. It's an upgrade with an Amber Pip. This creature gains after reap, choose a creature, deal 1 damage to that creature for each Mars creature in play. Also great for our Mars needs Amber. Total Recall, it's got an Amber Pip on it. For each friendly ready creature, gain 1 Amber. Return each friendly creature to your hand. Oh, that's actually fantastic. For each friendly ready creature, especially with how many bots we make. Maybe we just span out bots and then do a Total Recall, and then we've got our whole deck in our hand. Or regaining Amber and such. Then we've got the Glixlix Plague Master. Ixlix Plague Master. 3 power. After fight after reap, deal 3 damage to each human creature. This damage cannot be prevented by armor. Don't think we have any humans in our deck. I don't know that there are any humans in Brobnar. So we do have a Rowdy Scald that explains some of the Amber enhancements and damage enhancements. We'll see how many duplicates of this guy we've got. I feel like there's at least got to be 2 of them. He was enhanced with the damage. He's a 4 power creature. He enhances an Amber and 2 damage into a deck. Yep, so there's it, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, okay, 4. that explains a lot with the damage and everything going on. So that's 4 Amber and 2, 4, and 8 damage spread throughout the deck. Holy moly. So he got a damage pip on him, actually. Then we've got Press Gang with a damage. That's actually great. Make a token creature. If an enemy creature was destroyed this turn, archive Press Gang. That 1 damage could do it for us. 2 of those. And we've got Pound. It's got an Amber on it. And play. Deal 2 damage to a creature with 1 splash. 2 of those. This one's been enhanced with Amber. Then we've got Might Club. Ready and enrage a creature. Fresh Marks with an Amber Pip. Destroy friendly creature. If you do, exalt 3 enemy creatures. Brick Nasty with a damage pip. It's 5 power. And says, after another friendly Brobnar creature fights, gain 1 Amber. Ooh, and then we have Smith with an Amber and a draw pip. Play, gain 2 Amber if you control more creatures than your opponent. And that was our last card. Okay. Wow. Super weird deck. Not a huge fan of Bot, but Bot might actually be good in this deck just by virtue of it being a creature. Brobnar does a lot of stuff with us having more creatures if we fall behind. Star Alliance does a lot of stuff with having less. And then with Mars, we can Mars needs Amber with all these damage pips. We could Total Recall a full board for more Amber. I mean, there's just a bunch of Amber and damage pips spread throughout the deck that are actually super useful. Then we have a bunch of direct damage. The Rowdy Scalds are great for fighting with the Brick Nasty. Okay, yeah, let me get all this stuff separated and we'll get into our deck breakdown. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and we're here with the deck breakdown. We've got all of our usual piles, the Amber Control, Expected Amber, Artifact Control, and Creature Control. And then in WoE we have the Token Creation pile for any token making cards that didn't apply to the previous cards, just because of how important tokens are going to be in this set. Here is our SAS number, 59, not super high. It's around, honestly, what I was expecting. We've got really low Amber Control and really low board clears. We've got like one board clear, which is, as far as Winds of Exchange is considered, board clears are really important. So that's what the -5 meta comes from. The anti-synergy just comes from mostly creature counts, stuff like Red Alert, Teamwork, Total Recall with capturing, and stuff like that. A lot of it is like the Red Alert. And here is our extras and counts. So we've got 12 of the bonus Amber, which isn't bad. Again, I would obviously like more, but it's not horrible. No archiving, no key cheats, no scaling Amber Control. There's only one board wipe with Red Alert. We've got 12 actions, 15 creatures. It's a little bit low on actions and creatures, but we've got 6 artifacts, which is above the global average. I think these numbers will shift with Winds of Exchange. I'm seeing decks with a lot of artifacts in them, so I'm sure that'll shift it up. And then we've got 3 upgrades, 2 of which are Mars with Iron X Propaganda and Red Planet Ray Gun, and then the Star Alliance upgrade Plasma Nozzle. And our token generation score is 16.5 from all of the cards, which, as we go through this, we'll see what's a kind of typical number. If anyone is interested, the Star Alliance actually came out to be the highest SAS amongst the pods. Star Alliance was at 24, Brobnar was at 21, and Mars was at 20. Get rid of those. And here is our Amber and Control section. Really low as far as the Amber Control and Artifact, Amber Control, Artifact Control goes. Creature Control also could be higher. But let's dig in. Starting here with our Amber Control. So we've got Specialist Guthrak, which is our ability to capture anywhere between 1 and 3, because he counts himself with a fight or reap. He's got skirmish, so the fight is a lot more doable. Then we've got Mars Needs Amber, which in general is really good, but I think in this particular deck, with how many damage pips and direct damage cards we have, will actually be phenomenal, as long as our opponent wants to build a board. And then Yixlix Mesmerist, with the action, a creature captures 1 from its own side. So that's all. We didn't have a whole lot of Amber Control, which is surprising. This set has a decent amount of Amber Control spread through it, but unfortunately we only got 3 cards that really do anything, and I'm not sure we even got any capture pips. I don't think we had any enhanced. Then we're going into our expected Amber here, starting with Brick Nasty, which is just the after a friendly Brobnar creature fights, gain 1. I think we'll be able to do this a lot with our Rowdy Scalds, and then, you know, or is Rowdy Scald our only... Yeah, Rowdy Scald's our only other Brobnar creature, so we'll be fighting a lot with those Rowdy Scalds. But we've got Might Club to keep fighting with them. And then the Rowdy Scalds are in here. The 1 Amber that they give is actually rated higher than the 2 damage pips that they give, so I put them in here just because 4 Amber spread throughout a deck can actually be super, super important. Then we have the Total Recall, which again I think will be a sleeper hit in this particular deck. Each of our friendly ready creatures we gain 1 Amber for, and then we return them all to our hand. Oh, return each friendly creature, so even the exhausted ones will go back to our hand. Iron X Rebel is in here because it'll ready Mars creatures, which we'll probably reap with. Xanthix Harvester is actually a great combo with Iron X Rebel. If you can just play Xanthix Harvester on a flank, then play Iron X Rebel right next to it and separating it off, you could reap with it and gain 2 immediately. SV3 Lander is in here just because it's Omni, so we could obviously use our bots out of turn. And then Smith is just a phenomenal card overall. If you can get the effect to go off, which I think in this deck and in most decks with Smith, you're going to want to have a bigger board. It's just 3 amber, and then having a draw on it too is just amazing. And then fresh marks to exalt our enemy creatures, which again, we have bots, so there are a lot of times where I'm sure a important card will get tokenized and I am ready to cycle it. Fresh marks would be great to just kill off that bot and then exalt those enemy creatures. And then we had no artifact control, so we're into our creature control. Glixel Weaponsmith doesn't have an amber, so he was put in here for the damage pips that they enhance. Red Planet Ray Gun for a upgrade / reap damage. 2 pounds here for the direct damage, the 2-in-1 splash. Tixel Beam Buckler for its 2 damage. Then of course we had Might Club, which could ready and enrage. So you'll typically be fighting since you're enraging the creature. Zixlix Plague Master is in here because of the 3 damage, and it's a great effect if your opponent has humans, but I think that's a very uncommon trait in Winds of Exchange. I'm sure there are some Star Alliance creatures that have it, but you don't really see that. And then Sanctum, of course, but you won't see that a whole lot. Then we've got the Photon Blast, 2 damage, 1 splash, possibility to make a token. Red Alert, of course. And our Plasma Nozzle for before fight damage. I think that's actually a really good upgrade, if only you had a way to fight immediately with them. So this might honestly be worth slapping on a bot and then just fighting a bot off. Or slapping on, you know, a bot when you're not in... Oh, well, you would have to be in Star Alliance to play it. So yeah, putting it on a bot might be a good way to go about it. Just so you can get 3 damage on a creature, but 2 splash. Help you do a little bit of a board wipe, especially if your opponent has Cleric. Then we're into the token generation cards here, starting with Ironix Propaganda for its after fight, after reap token making. Then the Vat Minder for play and destroyed, MK2 Generator, our double press gangs, our double teamworks, and our double Scout Chief Corgier. So a lot of token making in this deck, which is fine. It just means that if you end up tokenizing your token making cards, you should be absolutely okay. Again, I think, you know, looking through the deck hasn't made it any more enlightening, but I think that it is pretty relevant that this deck is going to be really good just with Total Recall and Mars Needs Amber, and just filling the board. So if I can get an opponent with that has no creature control, our expected Amber is pretty high, so we can actually burst up and, you know, past 3 keys with 1 playthrough of the deck. We just have to make sure all of our stuff hits. So we'll get rid of the control, and then the last thing that we're going to pull up here is our speed and board. So nothing crazy here, a whole lot of zeros. Speed-wise, we have the triple future boosters, which I feel like after 2, again, the speed from that goes away. Glixel Weaponsmith with the draw that ended up on Smith. And then Total Recall actually slows us down by half a point, just because we're returning a bunch of cards to hand, so we probably won't refill at least 1 turn. Then our board power is 72. That is taken down some by fresh marks, and then the bots actually give us 18 of those points. So our creatures are actually pretty weak. We don't have anything huge. Then of course there's no recursion, no disruption, no creature protection, and no other. Get rid of that. So all in all, it's a very interesting deck. I think it would actually play a lot better than the SAS score kind of gives it. SAS for Winds of Exchange is really interesting just because I think it's so complex that I'm not sure that a computer will be able to grasp all of the deeper like engines of a deck or things that make a deck run. I hope so, and I'm sure eventually if there is a way, Decks of KeyForge is going to come out with it. But it is just so complicated, and there's so many weird benefits here and there. You know, if I'm able to fill my board with 6 bots, even though bot isn't great, reaping 6 times is a key, you know? So I think there's a lot of benefits to just having token creatures and the speed that comes with it. But that being said, that was our first deck of the display. I'm super excited to start getting these videos out. I hope that you guys enjoy them as we slowly get back into our regular kind of content timeline. To all of those who subscribed and started watching because of my Vault Tour video and some of the other stuff going on, hi. Thank you for sticking to the end of this video. I hope you stick around. In addition to a lot of these videos, there will be other videos spread throughout, shorts and stuff. Big on making KeyForge content, so you'll be seeing a lot of that here. And thanks so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked and want to see more KeyForge content. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Remember, the most important part of KeyForge is the person sitting across from the table. I'll see you guys later.